The Nerlin Nerds podcast is brought to you by What Lola Wants. Go to WLWPrivateChefs.com for information to reserve top quality chef and restaurant services in the Chicagoland area. Pulpery Media presents Nerlin Nerds with your hosts, Brock and Ben. This is where we discuss the pop culture topics that interest us and those minor details that irritate us.
This weekend?
No, I didn't. I thought he would have been banned.
No, he was at a different football game this weekend.
Oh.
Like, not even the Bears. Maybe the Vikings game? For some reason, this dude had on a black and white, almost looked like Harley Quinn Diamonds suit. And then you know what he did the next day?
I love that man.
He showed up on Monday Night Raw again, finally.
Just nobody put hands on him yet. He had a punctured fucking lung.
From Bronson Reed.
Yeah.
Well, he came back and curb stomped him on the steps because he was having
Is that on Raw?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was having
a
last monster standing against Braun Strowman. It was just two beefy men slapping meat. It was fucking bananas. It was a street fight. So the ring broke. They did a superplex, and the ring collapsed.
Oh my god.
It's fucking great. Of course, it was rigged, but the ring collapsed. Yeah. It's fucking amazing. And then Seth runs in and curb stomps him on the steps.
I gotta figure out why that didn't pop up on anything I had.
Dude, I recorded and then just
No, I know, but clearly I'm not following Seth Rollins in the right places, so.
No, well, a lot of it was football, but yeah, Sorry, I just wanted to throw that out there. Yeah. Seth Rollins is a fucking icon, and he better never, ever, ever end up on this list that we're about to talk about, because not even this week, it's Wednesday. And in 2 days, we have lost 5 or 6.
Somebody, I saw somebody on TikTok, it was 120 hours.
That's how long it took for us as a human race to lose Dikembe Mutombo, Chris Christopherson, Pete Rose, John Amos,
yeah.
And
Dame Maggie Smith, or Professor McGonagall.
Correct.
If you will.
And then who was the other one?
Taggart.
Oh, yeah, Taggart.
Yeah.
All right, so we had the dad in Good Times.
So, a handful of people, like Christopherson was up there.
He was. Dikembe, no.
Well, we're going to get to Mutombo in the sports section.
Okay, yeah. And Pete Rose.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
because they were both...
Maggie Smith and John Amos, they were up there. So, no big shocker, but it's that thing of,
The dad for...
Maggie Smith... Not that, again, not hoping, because that woman...
She was in everything,
But she, apparently, too, in real life, she had the British sarcasm...
Oh, really?
Down to an art, so I've now gotten these clips
he died as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ian McClellan doing imitations of Dame Maggie Smith, and he was like... when he was nominated for Gandalf.
Yes.
And that she was nominated for something as well.
Are you sure it wasn't Mrs. McConnell, because they were all at the same... Oh, wait, it was probably... I think I know which movie it was. It was one of those Queen Elizabeth royalty...
She had she had 80,000 nominations. She won twice, I think. But both for supporting. But, again, fantastic actress. Yes. But... Ian McClellan's story was he shows up, and this is he's come out now, he's living his best life, and he's wearing some some Middle Eastern kind of tie, and she's like, what's that called? And he's like, it's a Denobro or something like that, and then she's like, I'm wearing it for good luck, so hopefully I win. And then he talks about sitting through the Oscars, and he's gets to the after party.
Like an ascot thing?
Yeah, but with no collar, kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
And he gets to the after party, and Maggie Smith walks up to him and just not really lucky, is it? And then just walks away, and God, and that was her whole character in Downton Abbey.
That's the type of shit that I was talking about.
Was just but in this is she did it from I'm a rich fucking heiress.
Right.
But everything else was, it's why is this person talking to me? Like she's in Avengers, does this chattering animal speak for you?
Right.
But apparently she was that way in real life. It was just like fucking fantastic. Like she was
well done.
She was a British cunt through and through. Like it was fantastic. Oh. And then and I'm not the biggest Harry Potter fan, but
neither am I.
I have watched all the movies, but I still remember her from being Wendy from Hook. Old Wendy.
Robin Williams' Hook.
Yeah.
She was Wendy?
Yeah. Granny Wendy.
Oh, I was like, there's no way she was young Wendy.
No.
Okay,
yeah.
Granny. That makes it. Yes.
That's the first thing I remember really seeing her in. But,
no, that makes sense. I want to know how many awards she won. Doesn't matter.
I think she has 2 Oscars.
Supporting for both.
Yeah.
Well done, God.
But
damn.
In this day and age, like supporting is, I mean, I know we don't consider that to be, but that's more of, I would say it's to me important.
That's the actors,
right? Exactly. Yeah.
Starring is just okay. Yes, you don't get me wrong. You have to be a fantastic actor, but
sometimes
it's the opposite of the vice president.
They give away the star, the actor in the starring role.
Right.
The supporting actor, you got to fucking earn that.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It is the actors
right.
award.
Yeah. If you make everybody better around you,
exactly.
You got it.
Exactly.
That such as John Amos, who was.
Is that Taggart?
No. That was
because they have close to the same
Mr. McDowell from Coming to America.
He was the dad,
right?
In Good Times.
Yeah.
So here's what's hilarious. Look at his haircut in Good Times in the 70s.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he was like, let me see if I can.
And then he had the oh fuck, I'm blanking on all that shit now.
It really, because it was only in the 70s.
No, but I'm thinking of his haircut and then, Coming to America.
There he is now.
Yeah.
Or before, Kansas City Chiefs.
He was almost ageless.
Right.
But he was. That dude was
Cleo
fucking funny.
McDowell.
Yeah. Which is, he had I'm not gonna say a small, but a medium supporting role in Coming to, but almost everybody can remember every scene. He other than Eddie Murphy in that movie.
Yeah.
Steals that movie.
He is the, he's like the Rickton character, or what's Sugar's husband's name?
Pete.
Like that, he's that to Eddie Murphy and all of them, the crash shit. But is.
The whole movie of Coming to America, he's trying to get her to marry Eric LaSalle, the Jerry Curl dude.
Correct.
And then when he finds out Hakeem is a prince,
he's
he's a prince.
He's God.
And that scene where they bust in on him in the office and he's reading the McDonald's manual.
Yes. I think you should mop out there. He was. Man, and it's a shame because I barely remember Good Times other than,
reruns, yeah.
Right. Yeah. With the other ones.
But that was a big-ass show back then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was one of the first with, an all-brown cast.
Yeah.
What's the other one?
Jefferson's.
Thank you. Along Sanford and Son.
Right.
He was part of that.
Yeah. You don't get Amen and 227 and the Cosby Show.
You don't get any of that shit without these guys.
Right.
Just like, you don't get Eddie Murphy without Richard Pryor.
Correct. Yeah. And you don't get Richard Pryor without Red Fox or.
Correct. Which is why when they threw them all in that movie together. Go watch Harlem Nights, everybody.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because they were all in it, right?
So fucking Gregory Hines was in that too. Yeah.
Remember him and Billy Crystal in Running Scared?
Yes.
Fuck, that movie was great. So, but at any rate, this is one of the pioneer. Of course, Sidney Poitier. But these were sitcoms on regular TV.
On major broadcast television in prime time.
For 5 years in the 70s.
Yeah.
That's big time.
Good game changer.
Right.
Yeah.
So, good. Rest in peace,
and for 5 years, he had to deal with Dynamite!
And he still looks the same as he did then in that show. What was this? I don't even want to look.
Yeah.
All right, so here we are. We didn't leave ourselves much time for Mr. Christopherson. He was 89.
Yeah, I mean, he was...
I know, but he did everything.
Yeah, and he was good at everything he fucking did.
Correct. He wasn't trash at anything. He was good.
Yeah.
Forever.
He's a good actor. Started off in some good roles. I mean, his portrayal of the depressed, drunken... I mean, in the A Star Is Born, the one that most everybody remembers was Streisand.
Yes.
Like, that dude went toe-to-toe with Barbra Streisand on screen.
Yes.
That's how good he was.
Correct. And, of course, yes, the movie that they just remade is that.
Yeah. Which
Bradley
is also
Cooper.
a remake of another one, which is a remake of another one.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so they go from...
If it's happened before, it will happen again.
Yeah. Well, they go from, because, the one before that was with Judy Garland, and then there was, one in the 20s that wasn't musical. It was just actors and shit. So, yeah.
But, yes. And then, his music career.
Yeah, which is... I came to him late.
So did I. And I was never super into him, but of course I appreciate and respect his prowess.
Well, I mean, he wrote Me and Bobby McGee, Sunday Coming Down.
He wrote and played his own music.
Yeah. My favorite is... it's the song and the album. Jesus Was a Capricorn, like that fuck, because it's about Jesus being like a vegan and a hippie and shit. But
because he was a very big hippie.
My favorite story about his musical career is, and it's this weird like kind of proxy thing but like in the 70s when like outlaw country was becoming a thing, when like Willie went to Austin, Texas. Waylon just started saying "fuck you."
I was going to say when Waylon,
yeah, and was like, "I'm gonna do my own thing." And this was when Johnny Cash was really hooked on pills.
That was the first Hank Williams.
No, this would have been Junior. Yeah,
would have been Junior.
Yeah,
in the 70s.
Yeah. Oh no, Hank Williams Sr. was dead before that.
I mean, I guess that's right. We're on the third. From mid-90s to... Okay, so that tracks. So Junior, yeah.
So, and this is going to sound completely weird, but like out of nowhere, Shel Silverstein decides he wants to hang out with the outlaw country people. And so out of like Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings...
Loaded Johnny Cash.
Shel Silverstein decides, no, I'm following Christopherson around.
Yeah, what was...
And it was... Well, because like... Christopherson never became an alcohol. I mean, he really never became like a full-on crazy
he wasn't
alcohol.
As jacked as the rest of those guys.
Right, but he was also he channeled that Townes Van Zandt kind of storytelling in his writing, and like you said, like everything, he never covered anything. Everything was all original.
It was him,
and so he really
and the music, that was him.
But Christopherson wasn't a Southern dude either. So I think that's what... I forget where he's from.
If you say the Midwest, I will be like, of course it's the Midwest.
I think he's like Northeast.
That makes even less sense.
Yeah. But that's so where it's like...
country Bruce Springsteen is what you're telling me here?
Sort of.
Or like outlaw...
well, so... But he also...
Actual songwriter? Yeah.
He well, no, I take that back. He was born in Brownsville, Texas. That makes sense.
He plays his guitar up here, is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Because he knows.
But, but he was an Army dude, so he was all over.
Oh, I completely.
Yeah.
I can relate.
Right. So, but, he, particularly with A Star Is Born, he was part of that early opening of people understanding that like country's not always it can be. The following segment has been brought to you by Whatever Lola Wants. Go to WLWPrivateChefs.com for information to reserve top quality chef and restaurant services in the Chicagoland area. The Nerlin Nerds podcast is a production of Pulpery Media, produced and edited by Ben Grimion. Marketing by Brock Ryder. Graphic design by Beck Ryder and Ben Grimion. Music by the Heisenberg Compensators.